Hello everybody, it's Andy from Glass Half Dead here, and I know what you're thinking. Andy, it is so late in the day from when this was revealed. What can you possibly add to the conversation of the reveals from Warhammer Fest today? Well, I was at Warhammer Fest, hence why this is late. Now you might be thinking, he was surely thinking and just about to say, I was at Warhammer Fest, therefore, logically, he can add more depth to what he's about to read off Warcom in... Correct. So anyway, I'm going to read some stuff from Warcom and look at some models and say, well, that's nice, isn't it? Anyway, let's dive into it. Obviously, I'm doing Kill Team here. They've just revealed the Ashes of Faith and Space Marine Heroes. Let's dig in. But before we do that, quick touch on Old World. I was on the verge of being excited for this, and then I read that these are resin from Forge World, and I lost all interest in Old World. That's gone. Leviathan, I'm pretty hyped for 10th. I'm not going to lie. Can I very quickly summarize why I am hyped for 10th? Okay. Kill Team's great, and I'm sure that Kill Team's a better game, and 100%, but Kill Team is about the little dudes, the mechanics. It's quite sweaty and competitive if you get to a certain level of it, and I find it quite hard to take a step back from that and just be totally chilled and casual. And I find that when I'm being totally chilled and casual in Kill Team, I'm kind of putting it on a little bit. For 10th edition, I just want to run silly lists. I don't really care how they play in the game. I just want to run like all big bugs into tanks, or all big bugs into mech battle suits, or just things like that. And I don't really care if that's a competitive game. I just want to create some kind of ridiculous narrative about why this would happen and just smash two armies together. Or like all monoliths is what I've thought about. And for the AdMech, because I myself as a content creator, as a YouTube's man, quite like the Adeptus Mechanicus, because they are slaves to the machine god. I'm a slave to the algorithm, right? So I'm like, what could be fun there? And I thought, what if I just went out and went max squads in the Sulphur Hounds, right? Like, you can have, I think, 3 squads of the Sulphur Hounds, 6 models apiece, and then 3 squads of the other type of Robo-Dog thing at 6 models apiece. That would be nuts. I'd love it. I just want to do that. I just want a game engine that facilitates me being a little bit silly and being able to just come up with things in my head, and 10th looks like it will do that. It seems to borrow a lot from Age of Sigmar, which is a very stripped back version of 9th, if that's what you know, and this is just that as well, because I did manage to have a game of it at Fest. It's basically Sigmar. There you go. Cool. Alright, let's get into Kill Team. First things first, here we go. So Gallow Dark, Ashes of Faith. We'll cover Ashes of Faith in just a moment. Gallow Dark, in case you missed it, that has been announced for pre-order this weekend, which means that yes, I can finally confirm my coverage of it will occur. What is my coverage? Well, on this channel, Glass Half Dead, we are going to have 3 reviews. We're going to review the entire box as a big conglomeration of everything about it, from terrain, or both summaries of teams, how we feel about the season in general, etc., all the way over to breakdowns of the individual teams. Ashes of Faith we're about to talk about. Also, if you want to check out Full Scale Wargaming, because you want to get a battle report of the 2 new teams, well, me and Ryan from Turning Point Tactics, at the time of recording, possibly not after Warhammer Fest, not sure, haven't checked, was the number 1 on the ITC for the UK. Had a game, those 2 going head to head, so that'll be very interesting. And then we have, that's it, there you go. Now, they have here confirmed Kill Team Annual. What's going to be in that? Because last annual was all of the articles for White Dwarf summarized, which luckily for us included a bunch of teams, and then they added 2 more teams. They haven't done that this year, so I have absolutely no idea what that is. Okay, right. Space Marines. So for those of you unaware, Space Marine Heroes is it's termed a gacha thing. Comes from Japan for some reason. Don't know why we use that here. Basically, it's a blind buy box system. You can go out and you can buy a box of things and you get all of these models, and these models here, these Space Marines, which are different types. So we've got an Eliminator, a Heavy Intercessor, a Captain, I think that's a Captain, and then a regular Intercessor and an Assault Intercessor. I will go Strike Force Justian. Here we go. They are going to be a new kill team, which is a new way of getting a kill team. So in case you're wondering, they will come in boxes of 8. Right, and if you buy the entire box, you are guaranteed to get 1 of every model. If you only go out and buy 1 at a time, who knows how long it will take you to get all of them. Cool, nice. Which brings us to Ashes of Faith. Up here we go. Oh, there is one more thing, isn't there? And I haven't clicked on it. Hold on. Where is it? Here we go. Let's have a quick look at this. Aeldari presence detected. Deploy infiltration units. Clearly, Aeldari of some flavour are coming. And what could infiltration units be? Perhaps certain people out there, certain other content creators who might have the term chapter master in their content creation name have told us what that might be. So, jolly good for them, I suppose. Anyway, let's talk about the big release. But before we talk about the big release, I'd like to say that this next part is for subscribers only, and that's right, it is a big double hello. Wow, isn't that so wholesome? What is the double hello? Well, it's a pleasantry that's given to you twice. Why would you want 2 pleasantries? Because it's very pleasant, isn't it? Hey, if you like what I'm doing here, consider subscribing, liking, leave a comment. And if you really like what I'm doing here, consider checking out my Patreon, because it does very much support me. And in fact, if you want to know what that Patreon money goes towards, support goes towards, then it's this bad boy over here. It's high quality, highly edited battle reports. Hopefully, they're going to be very fun. They will be coming imminently on Full Scale Wargaming and perhaps a little bit on Glass Half Dead 2. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so Ashes of Faith. This is a narrative. Okay. Right. Okay. How do I approach this? Oh my god, am I 8 minutes in? Guys, I'm so sorry. This is why I should script things. Jeez. So this is a narrative expansion for Kill Team. This is the first of its type, and they've pitched it to us as a new thing that they are trying. In this, now, okay, so there is no terrain. It is 2 teams. It is first up the Imperial agents. Here are the models. I'm not going to tell you whether you should like or dislike these models. There you go. I'm going to be honest with you though. These aren't... They don't speak to me. And I can't really tell you why. They just look a little bit meh, if I'm being entirely honest. Like, they're just a bunch of regular humans. Which is fine, that's what Imperial agents should be. But there's just nothing there that my eyes are like latching onto. And I'm genuinely finding it a little bit difficult to figure out why. To me, they are just a little bit nothingy. I will say this one here, with the plasma and like the Uzi. Okay, that's cool. I like that. Servitor, which they've said this gun here will be swappable with plasma, heavy bolter, and multi-melter. Okay, that's cool. This guy is your leader, and I feel like he could be cooler, but he just doesn't do it for me. And I'm actually really struggling to quantify why this team doesn't do anything for me, because it should. Because if you think about Imperial agents, about the retinue of an Inquisitor, they are cool. But this team is just a no, and I'm really struggling why. So what have they told us about it? So it is a 7 model team, and at that 7 model team, you can then take a support asset. That support asset can be another contingent. I don't know how many they've said. They said either 4, 5, or 6 of more of these guys, or I assume they have. So in the box, there's also 5 Scions, so presumably 5 Scions, or 5 Sisters of Science. We've gone too far. And are they not showing the slide here? Oh, they're not. Okay. Oh, it must be in the video then. Or so you can either add 5 Scions, 5 Sisters of Silence, an amount of Kassakin, Imperial Navy Breachers, Veteran Guardsmen, or Exaction Squad, which is super interesting. It means, just off the top of my head, assuming that they're not doing something really weird, this is probably the most flexible team to date. I'm trying to think what else might rival it. Like, I guess the second most complicated team would be Warp Coven, I guess. Well, this is potentially more than that. I'm trying to think. It also depends what you can actually end up taking from each of those individual faction picks. Like, if you're allowed to take absolutely anything from that faction, then that's an almost, I mean, that's a lot of things you can take, and essentially you end up with the potential to have, like, 20 different loadouts, all for the same squad, right? Which is huge. That's a huge number, and you bump into issues with the roster, etc., etc. Or is it, I want to take Kassakin, and then you can only take the Kassakin regular warrior, or you can only take the shield guys from Exaction Squad, or regular GA2 guys from Vet Guard, right? Or is it, no, you can take any specialist. Do they keep their special abilities? Do they transfer their special abilities onto the Imperial agents, or do they just lose it completely? Because that's going to completely change things, right? A little bit unknown. We then come down to the Chaos. Now, this is interesting. So basically, your Chaos faction, and we don't know how many it's going to be, is made up of the Dark Commune. I assume that's like the thing you have to take. You must take the 5 Dark Commune models. And then, in the box, you get the Cultists, and you get the Accursed Cultists box. The Cultist can upgrade to a Mutant, who can upgrade to or mutate, or whatever it's called, or ascend, I don't know, to an Accursed. And that's great, and we know that that's fine because it's a narrative box. And the longer you leave these guys alive, the more powerful they become. But we don't know how. So that's it. That's the end of our factual knowledge. We don't know if that's narrative only, or if that's going to be match play. And like, for example, turning point 1, you get 10 cultists, and I don't know, I'm just throwing random stuff out here. And if the 2 of them begin the next round in base to base, they become a mutant. And if 2 mutants end the round in base to base, they become accursed. Because all it says is that they get stronger the longer you leave them alive. But we don't know if that means in a campaign, and so a model can never upgrade to the next thing within a match, and it's outside of the match when they upgrade, like just a standard, extra equipment sort of thing. Or if it happens in the game. I do have to stress though, although this was sold right next to a big banner that says narrative expansion, it was made very clear in the Q&A that yes, this is a narrative expansion, but the 2 teams, the Chaos Cultist dudes, the Dark Command, whatever, and the Imperial agents are 100% for matched play as well. So don't worry about that. How does it work? Literally no idea. They did hint that this card deck that comes with it. Oh, that's the other thing. In the box, there's no terrain, but there's like, I think this here alone is like 25 models ish, and then the other side is like 17s, 20. So this is almost 40 models in this box, and it's not showing the picture here of everything that comes in. You also get the core rulebook, I think the miniature version, and you get the booklet that you need to run both teams, much like you would get if you buy any other big box for Kill Team, which presumably will also have how you use these cards here. And I have no idea what these cards are, but they seem super interesting. And that's it. There you go. That is everything that we know for Kill Team. There you go. I don't think I really added a huge amount there. Hopefully something I said there is something that was missed elsewhere. Everything else I could say is raw speculation. Scions, Sisters of Silence, presumably they'll be straight out of the compendium. Scions hitting on 3s, obviously. Significantly superior to Kaskin, as we all know, of course. But actually, like, so ignore the meme, but we know that they can take Kaskin or Scions. That's going to be real interesting. Like, how many gunners can you take in each? How many specialists can you take? Did the Kaskin keep elite points? If not, you'll probably never take them and you'll take Scions. But if they do keep it and you can take more gunners for them than you can for Scions, we're gonna have some people make some real tough decisions about just how salty they really are about Kaskin's 4-ups if they get to keep elite points and Scions are 3-ups without elite points, but you also get more gunners as Scions. As Kaskin. Just throwing it out there. Anyway, there you go. That's it. Now, of the final piece of these two teams, I am much more interested in the Chaos. I'm not really a Chaos guy, but the Imperial agents themselves, as I said, are not speaking to me. So the core team here has, out of 7 models, has like 2 I'm interested in. That's not a high enough ratio for moi. Now, I'm generally a big fan of the additions we can have. The Scions, the Kassakin are cool, the Vetguard are cool. I've got all of those already made. And if they really, really change like how the team plays, depending on what you're bolting on, the support asset you're taking, then it could actually be a really fun kind of learning experience as to what you should take when. But what do these guys do? What do these Dark Command dudes do, right? I mean, there has to be at least one Psyker. What's this crazy banner? This banner is huge, by the way. I have these models already because I have a Chaos Army. This banner is massive. I actually genuinely hope they have some sort of... This is like the biggest banner in the game of Kill Team so far. So I actually really hope that they've included some sort of rule. Like, don't just say you can't shoot the banner, but say something like, if you shoot the banner and you roll a 1, you take a mortal. That would be amazing, actually. I'd love that. They will never do that. That's insane, but that'd be cool. So these guys, whatever these guys, I hope that these guys are literally ring wraiths from Lord of the Rings. I really hope that they are cool and are super sick in melee. And I hope that they've got really cool, weird powers. These are cultists. They're boring. Cool. Oh, it's not letting me click on the next one. And then these are cursed. I'm really curious what these are going to be. Obviously not these little guys, they're a bit boring, but the big dudes, and like, are they going to be a really, really late game team where they're only actually at their full strength when in turn 3 and 4, when they've got the accursed on the board? I don't know. Super interesting to see how it works. Or are we going to be torn down and actually you don't get to play the accursed in match play, right? Much like you don't get some of the best equipment in match play, maybe the accursed will basically be glorified equipment and we don't get them in match play and we just get Dark Commune and a bunch of cultists. I don't know. Anyway, if you made it to the end of the video, I'd like to give you a big double hello. Wow, lovely. Guys, I'm absolutely smashed. I'm super tired after a whole weekend of Warhammer Fest. It was great fun to get out there, meet everybody, be in the very, very, very niche community where I am and I do cringe when I say the word, celebrity. It was great fun. Big ups to everybody that I met. I'm going to go hide away for like 2 weeks to recover myself. Fun, can't handle it for long periods. So, obviously, also I'm going to do a bigger, more fuller breakdown of the tournament and everything that happened there. But I want to do it properly, and I have a whole load of footage that's going to have to be smashed together, and then the audio's terrible on everything, so I'm going to have to do some sort of voiceover. So that's actually going to take me a while and be a relatively large project for a video that will end up being, 8 minutes and 1 second. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Stay hydrated. I'm so thirsty. Oh my God.